Hi, this is Vic. In this tutorial, we'll look at the overloading of methods. In Java, it is possible to have more than two methods that can have the same name within a single class, provided that their parameter declarations are different. Let me show you an example of overloading. Just to explain you the concept, let me show you the arithmetic operator. Let's say we have a plus operator. There are many different things that a plus operator can do. Have an int and have another int j. So a plus operator can add these values. We can have another int sum equals I plus j, and it is showing an error because I haven't assigned anything. So click on this and initiate variable, and again initiate variable ing. A plus operator is adding these both. Now if we take an s out, a plus operator can be used to display things like sum is, and here we can have a plus operator and then sum. So this plus operator here is now doing concatenation for the string and not the arithmetic addition. So these are the two ways in which I can use the plus operator. There are many other ways. I can have a double here and then have a plus operator, so that will be a floating point addition, not an integer addition. And I may have a float, a byte, different things I can do with the same operator. Now what I intend to tell you here is that this is called as operator overloading. If you have some experience with language like C, C++, you might have encountered the operator overloading. But if you are new, then let me tell you, usage of an operator more than for one thing, like for addition and for concatenation, is known as operator overloading. This overloading part is not provided to us. The user cannot overload an operator by themselves. The Java developers have provided us with the overloaded operators like plus and many other operators. Now, I hope that the overloading is clear to you. What is overloading? That is using the same thing for more than one operation. So now let's remove all of this and let's concentrate back to the methods. That is overloading the methods. So now let's make a method to have addition of different data types. Since this class is having the main method, let's create another class in this package and make it Java class and name it overloading methods and click finish. So we are here with the overloading methods class, and now let's make integer addition int, and let's have add and give it parenthesis and over here braces. And it is saying we are missing the return statement because I haven't put any return statement over here. And over here let's have two integer addition. Let's take int a comma int b. So we are having two integers that will be given by the caller, and that two integers will be added by this method, and the result will be returned back to the caller. So let's return a plus b semicolon. So this method will return the value of a and b as a sum, and we can return it like this, or what we can do, let's create another integer value sum and make it a plus b, and then return sum over here, sum. But as this is a shorter way, let's remove this and make it back to a plus b, because why to make another integer value when we can return only a plus b. So let's copy this and paste it one and twice. So now let's make it a double. We are returning a double, and also here double, and we are taking floating point and we'll be returning floating point value for this. So this will be the floating point addition and this will be the integer value addition. And for this let's have something like string add. So let's have a string here and a string over here. So these both are the primitive types, and this is the object type. Alt Shift F so that it is properly formatted. And now let's make the object of this class and call these methods. Here let's make some objects for this class. Overloading methods, and let's name it addition equals new control space overloading methods and the constructor. Now let's call those three methods we have created. So addition dot, here we can see we are having three methods that we have created. So let's first call the int one and enter. Now let's provide the value for a. So let's give a 40 here, and in B let's give 100. So we should get 140 as a result. And because it is returning an int value, what we can do, we can assign it to some int, or we can directly print its value what this function will return. So let's have an sout over here, sout, and remove these, cut and paste it over here. Obviously this is not a string that we want a function to return a value over here. So we'll get the value and put and format it something. Let's give this is int value, and let's have copy and let's paste it over here. Let's give something that is double. Dot 0 makes it a double, 100.0 makes it a double. This is double value, and again paste it and let it make it, this is string value, and we have to provide string over here. Make this a string and make this b as a string again. So here you can see I have called add method by using the same object addition, and let's shift F6 to see what we get. And as here you can see, the first result is 140, the next result is 140.0, and the third result, that is a string, is 4100, because this is concatenating, not adding. So as here you can see, we have made overloaded methods for a name add. Now let me further tell you something about the overloading methods. It is dependent on the number of parameters we have, or the type of parameters, not on the return type, what it returns. So if we copy the parameter type, that is we have two int values, to a double, let's say we have this, so this will give an error. Here it is giving an error. Method add int comma int is already defined in class overloading methods, because there is no way the Java compiler can tell you which method to call, because when the compiler is checking for the methods, it checks for the method name and then the parameters in it, and not the return type. Even though the return type is different, this is double and this is an int, this will provide an error only. So it is compulsory to give different parameters, give more parameters, that is give it a 3 parameter and give this 2 parameters only. Let's remove this C. And one more thing what I want to tell here, and let's remove the int part. Now suppose we are having here two double values, let's say double, and make this also a double. Now what happens, we are giving two int values here and we are having two double values over here. This method will call that method. So you might be wondering what will happen when we run it. Will it give a runtime exception or give it an error? Let's see what happens. Shift F6, and here you can see we are returning a double value. Now what happened is these values are type promoted, that is the int value is promoted to double before being assigned to the parameters. So the type promotion plays a very important role when you are using the overloading methods. As I have told you earlier, in the type promotion and type conversion tutorial. So when an overloaded method is called, Java looks for a match between the arguments, that is these arguments. So when the Java compiler checks that the passed variables are of type int and the parameters in the method are some different, that is a double here, it automatically type promotes it. So the match need not always be the exact one. The variables can be promoted. So let's look at the API docs that Oracle has on the website. Here, this is the URL for the math.html in the lang package of Java APIs. So it is a direct descendant of object, and here you can see, let me scroll it down a bit, and these are the methods that the math contains, and this method here you can see the ABS method. So what is it doing? See, 1, 2, 3 and 4. There are 4 implementations of ABS method. The one takes a double, the second takes a float, and third takes an int, and 4 takes a long. And also you can see the tan, tan2 over here. So many methods it provides, and these 4 methods, these are the overloaded methods. So let's see the implementation for these methods. Let's get back to NetBeans, and over here let's say s out, so that we get what we want. Let's have math.abs, because math class is because ABS is a static method, and we can use math class as with its name and without making any object for that. And here we can have any of it. So let's have an int and provide a negative value for int -1 to 3, so that we can get absolute value of -1 to 3. And s out again, s out, and have math.abs, and let's have a float value. So in the float, move s, and in the float let's have minus and 1 to 3.5 and nf. So shift F6, and here you can see we are getting 123 and 123.5. that is the absolute value of these values. So in this way Java is providing overloaded methods, and it will be used in many programs that you'll be building in future. And in the next tutorial we'll look at the overloading of constructors. So if you are looking at this tutorial on my website, you may get the assignments from there is a drop down menu in the Java tutorial series, and go to assignments, and there you will see I have given a lot of assignments there, and you may practice from there. And I'll be providing more assignments and more tutorials and more text over there, so that it will be even more clear to you the concepts of Java. And if you have any queries, you may comment on the comment section, and I will try my best to get to you as soon as possible. So for now, this is all, and see you next time.